in the trunk line. So really dumb AI play right there, but AI's always been that way, and there's not much that they can do about it anyways, because the automatic AI is actually pretty high end considering how poor it was back then with Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, where it practically had no AI. Alright, so these Mutalisks are coming here, going for the counterattack, seeing if it could snap off the probes, and I prepared my unit composition well to counter this with just mass sentries and mass stalkers, more on the sentry side, considering that there might be Zerglings coming, so that I could just do a quick force field around my ranged army, and those Zerglings won't be able to touch my units, but I will be able to hit them over the force field. So that's why I got a lot of sentries with stalkers, and these Mutalisks are going to be able to snipe off that overlooking pylon there. And what you want to do when you're Protoss or Terran on a scrap station is that you want to put a supply depot or a pylon there, because it's very useful in just taking a look, and it's almost like a second watchtower actually. It's very useful to seeing if any ground army comes by. So right now my opponent's trying to probably flank me, trying to flank my ranged army there. He has Zerglings waiting and not quite ready to go in yet, so we'll probably see those Zerglings go in later, and those Mutalisks are just camping around, and ooh, we see Banelings morphing here. So there's a Banelings nest somewhere around there, and this is actually, I'm not sure what the Banelings cost is, but I'm pretty sure it takes up a lot of gas, and if I'm wrong, then he's probably still using some amount of gas, but he's not gonna have as much Mutalisks as before. So however, this is very, very powerful if he decides to pincer my army, but my army is pretty huge considering that he has a Zerg army. It's really outnumbered mine, and he's killing a lot of probes right now, and I'm forcing probes back, making sure that they don't get Banelings. So these Banelings, however, they're not working with the Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks actually just flew out straight out of my base, and it didn't work in the flank. So those Banelings caught off by those force fields, and those Banelings just not being able to be used at all, and just getting sniped off one by one, and these Zerglings just walking right on through, not even attacking ground, and my army is not attacking ground either. So very, very bad for me, very bad move for me. Those Zerglings shouldn't have gotten by, and as a result, I'm going to lose all of my probes here. Yep, all of my probes. And what I actually did later on is that I made 2 zealots. I have 250 minerals right now, and there you go, it went down to 15 minerals. And so I made 2 zealots, and I have no resources to probes. And right when I did that, I just smacked myself in the face, and I'm like, oh my god, this game is over. And my opponent on 2 bases right now, making his third, so, and I am just 0 bases, and I actually accidentally killed my own stalker base when I kind of do that there. So that single stalker kill could have cost me the game right there, but let's see what happens. I only have 3 stalkers right now, alongside 4, 8, 9 sentries, so I have a very limited army, and I can't afford that. Other than those 2 zealots down here earlier, but the zealots aren't coming in. I'm actually in a very bad position right here. The queens come up right when the Zerglings pop out, so I lose about 2 sentries right there. Very, very bad for me, man. I end up losing another one, so I'm down to 6 sentries. I lost 3 sentries in that battle. Very bad for me, and no probes at all. No probes, not a single one at my main base. None at all. So this is all that I have right now. Just 6 sentries and 3 stalkers, which could have been 4 stalkers had I not sniped off my own stalker. And those 2 zealots I had earlier defending my base came by and got surrounded by Zerglings. So right now I have those Zerglings come in, and I'm doing a pretty nice job here force shooting, not allowing those Zerglings to do as much damage as they could have, and ending up losing one of my stalkers anyway, so I'm down to 1 stalker and 5 sentries. That's all I've got left. And the spawning pool is still up, and I was actually sniping the the fire earlier, I was more afraid of Mutalisk considering that I had Force Field Ball, but those Zerglings did a lot of damage, so I ended up having to kill that Spawning Pool before I killed Fire. And these little Broodlings right there being a little bit annoying there. If those Broodlings work coincidentally with Zerglings, they could get a very good round. And oh man, fortunately for me, I did not finish off that Fire, or more Broodlings would have come out at the same time as those Zerglings, and one sentry gets caught off guard a little bit there. And I'm able to just finish off all of those without losing anything, fortunately, and I still have energy. And my enemy actually leaves the game, and I am a very happy person right now, because I have only 4 sentries, 1 stalker, no bases, well 5 sentries, and he has 3 bases. 3 bases against 0, against an army of 5 sentries and 1 stalker, and I win. So I'm pretty sure if he had stayed, then he would have had a good chance fighting back, considering that he had full drones mining off of that one base. Well, not quite full. 2 Zerglings going right there, checking out what's happening. If he had waited a couple more seconds, those Zerglings could have gotten into my base, and he probably would have realized that he could have just stayed in the game right there. And looking at the resources there, he was still mining and up ahead. So fortunately for me, he left. If he had stayed, I might have still won, but it would have been very slim. My army probably would have stayed inside the enemy's main base and tried to have taken out the lair, which would have given him more than enough time to get his spawning pool up to get more Zerglings out to finish off my army. So very fortunate for me. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time. And I'll hopefully have more videos up more often than once every 2 or 3 weeks like this time around. Okay, so see you guys around. Laters.